for instance, the south side of Atlanta, there's houses that's off, but they probably get booked maybe every weekend. And then with houses, you also have to understand the seasons.
Yeah.
Families aren't traveling all throughout the year. Yeah. You get holiday season, families are traveling, that's it.
Yeah,
so houses have its down season versus apartments. Like with my units, those corporate guys are always traveling. Like they have to work regardless. They're not coming to stay in a 5-bedroom house. They're not coming to stay here. You guys are working. But how many podcasts literally come through where it's 4 people and they need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath? You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So then you can, as a regular person coming off the street, to answer your question, I'd suggest starting off with apartments because it's easier, it's cheaper. You furnishing, it's not as much as furnishing the house.
Yeah, I was just thinking in my head, like you do both, right? You own some properties and you rent.
Exactly.
From which standpoint you're saying now, like renting the properties easier is less risk?
Yeah, it's less risk.
Okay.
And then when it comes to buying, if you already don't have a property under a mortgage, I don't suggest going to get a mortgage to put a property up for Airbnb. Because think about it, if you have a $200,000 mortgage, how long is it gonna take you to make your money back?
It's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, versus if you already have a property and you're like, maybe I'm moving out of town, or maybe I'm moving on the other side of town, but I don't want to let my house go.
Yeah,
I don't got time to sell it.
Maybe you want to switch that property after the year lease is up.
Yeah, or maybe you want just some extra income.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of different options there. So you get those people that are like, hey, I just want to do something with this house. And it doesn't take, you don't really know when to find a long-term tenant. Then you get a wait list with long-term tenants. People don't pass background checks. People don't make the deposit. Income, they don't got income. It's all kind of stuff that comes with finding a long-term tenant that people don't realize.
So you would suggest, okay, if somebody was looking to get into Airbnb, it makes more sense to do it the subleasing route as opposed to like buying a place just for the purpose of Airbnb.
Right, correct.
Yeah, it's gonna take you a lot longer to get the money back.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I've honestly never seen anybody do it that way.
You've never seen anybody buy something?
I've never seen somebody go buy something to go put up for Airbnb. Never. Even the huge corporations that are here, that's short-term leasing, they're subleasing.
So there's corporations that do what you do, pretty much.
Yeah, they have them up on all the platforms. There's other platforms too besides Airbnb. There's HomeAway, there's VRBO, there's Booking.com, TripAdvisor, all those too.
So those corporations, they're coming in. They're not getting one property. They're getting maybe 6 to 12 properties at a time.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's the profit margins? Like, if you, all right, let's say a house costs $1,000. How much can a person realistically make in a month? Like, is it 3 times? Like, what's the goal? Actually, that's a better question. What's the goal? Like, you can say, okay, I'm gonna pay $1,000, but I want to get no less than 3,000. Like, is it something like that?
So let me tell you something about the business, and I'm gonna look at the camera and say this. It's not a business that you get into and you start profiting 30 grand just because you got 5 units. That's not how it works. The platform is for you to progress. So I started with my first month and I might have made $1,500. My second month I might have made $3,000. My third month I might have made $4,000. My 5th month I might have did 10 grand. So it's a business that where you can grow into. Some people, they look at my page and they look at my business and they're like, oh, that's what I want to do. Oh, she's doing this. Oh, she's doing that. And they don't know what it took for me to get there. So I didn't start off making 30 and 40 grand a month. That's not how it worked.
You earned your leisure.
Yes, you have to. And then the thing about Airbnb, you become, there's a status that you become. It's called a superhost status. The superhost status puts you up in the algorithm. So when I say algorithm, I mean, say you're going out of town and you're searching on Booking.com or Airbnb, you might see 30 pages. Who's going to the 30th page?
Nobody makes it to it.
Thank you.
Nobody's paying to 30. Oh, so the Airbnb has an algorithm to reach to the top.
That's the biggest thing on Airbnb is to be in the algorithm. If you're not in the algorithm, you're not getting booked.
How do you get there?
There's a lot of different things just with listing the property. It's hard to say do this, do that, honestly, when it comes to the algorithm. There's just different things you have to know as a host that needs to be done or needs to be listed properly on your unit, on your listing. Okay. So when it comes to the algorithm itself, you have the superhost status. Superhosts are already up in the algorithm.
Then what's a superhost?
A superhost, it's a 90-day assessment. So once you get it, you have to maintain it. You don't get it and then keep it. You have to keep maintaining it every quarter. So they do it every 90 days. There's a superhost assessment. So you only have 1 cancellation every 365 days. Okay. Literally, you're on pins and needles. Okay. For a year, or you lose it. So you won't get superhost status if you cancel
So that's really out of your control,
if you cancel,
right?
or somebody else cancels.
No, if you cancel, the guest canceling has nothing to do with your
okay.
If you cancel, so like you said, the leaks, maintenance, maybe housekeeping didn't show up, those kind of things.
Complaints
in regard to what?
Like if somebody complains about your Airbnb.
No, if they ever occupy your unit, it won't count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so once they open the door,
that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Now not to cut you off, but you said that you went from 3,000 to 6 down to 10,000, and you talked to us off camera about having that mindset of scaling business.
Yes.
What are some things that help scale? Right, because you walked in here today and you're like, well, yeah, okay. Your vision was a lot different from when we walked in.
Right. So when it comes to scaling, you have to have automated systems in place.
Okay.
That is it. Your systems.
So like what kind of automated?
Housekeeping automated system. So, and I'm going to be completely transparent. Housekeeping was the biggest downfall of my business, 2019. I hated housekeeping. So housekeeping is the most important, it's the most essential thing to the Airbnb business.
Why was it the worst? Is it like you actually going in and doing it?
No, it was the volume that I was having and having to have a housekeeper keep up with my volume. So I was running through, my turnover rate for housekeepers were like, it was crazy. Like I was looking for a new housekeeper every week. So sometimes I might have 6 checkouts. And then what you have to understand is checkout is at 11, check-in is at 3. So it might take the housekeeper, because you got to do linen, you got to wash linen, and you have to dry it. So it normally takes them minimum 2 hours. So now between 11 and 3, I got 6 properties that need to be cleaned. 3 of those might got another check-in coming in. So what if I only have 1 housekeeper? Who's gonna clean those other 2 properties that has another check-in? Those 3 that didn't have a check-in, I might can get those tomorrow. But then that's a risk, because what if somebody wants to book that night?
So what do? Do you find more than one, or you find a company of housekeepers? What do you do?
So now I've come to the point, at first I was using housekeepers from different companies, or I would just post on my Instagram like, hey, I need a housekeeper. But then when I had to realize, hey, I'm running a hospitality company, it's not just a sweep of a broom or wiping off the counters or cleaning the toilet. It's different. You have to stage the unit. Is the tissue full? Is the shampoo, the conditioner, and the soap out? Is the paper towels on? Like housekeepers, they would do something like leave a quarter of a roll of tissue in the bathroom. Absolutely not. It's those little things that really count.
It goes a long way.
That's what I'm saying. Make sure coffee and cream are out.
Make sure you have washcloths.
Everything, at least enough. Because if
we're only speaking.
I'm coming.
Yeah. We've been in some of them.
But some people don't believe in washcloths. I noticed when you go to Airbnb, you never. You know,
he's only speaking from experience.
You know who owns the Airbnb if they don't have washcloths. It's a fact. It's strange.
Yeah. So my question now is, right, so when you hire a company of cleaners, right, if you keep using them, does it help now with the cost? Or do you now make a deal to say, you know what, we've been using you, or we got so many properties now, can you cut the cost a little bit?
So now when I talk about automated systems, when I say the mistakes that I made, now I've come to the point where I needed my own housekeeping company.
You create your own.
Yeah, so now I have my own housekeeping.
Dope.
So the thing that I was trying to do was support somebody else's business. That was my thing, because I already had the Airbnb business going. So I was like, let me just find maybe, somebody that could clean for me. But then it became a point in time like, oh no, this is not working, because they don't take my business as serious as I do. So now I need to find somebody to put on my own payroll for housekeeping. And that's how I started the automated systems. Now you only work for me. Now I don't have to worry about you saying, oh, I got to go clean this property over here on the south side, or oh, I got another job. No, you don't. It's not on my schedule.
It's not on my schedule.
Exactly. So that's what I mean by automated
a real boss.
systems.
So you have an in-house cleaning service.
Yep.
Dope.
And I just did that within 2-3 months.
And how many cleaners do you have?
Only 3. But it's enough right now.
Right now.
So
still
and they only work for your properties.
They only work for my properties.
That's dope. She's 23, y'all.
Nah, that's dope. That makes sense, because it's like you gotta from a convenience level.
Yeah.
And you gotta spend that money anyway.
Yeah.
So like you said, why not spend it where it's on your watch as opposed to somebody else's watch?
Right.
And now you cut out the nonsense.
Yeah. And then when you talk about cost. Normally housekeepers charge like $70 or $80 for just say you wanted your own apartment clean, they might charge you $80 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. I'm not paying that if you clean in 10 of my units in one day. So now, hey, what about 55? So now I only pay 45 to 55 depending on the cleaner for each unit. Which is not bad, because I charge my guests $90. So
the cleaning service is put inside of the rental
reservation, exactly.
Perfect.
So you guys pay the cleaning fee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you get paid on that. You get paid on the back end.
Yes, sir.
I just thought about that. Because you gotta get the cleaning fee.
I need that cap out of you.
All right.
She's a real hustler, y'all.
You a hustler. I just thought about that. You gotta get the money up front and on the back end.
Don't tell nobody.
We got the cleaning service, right? What are some other automated systems that we have in place? Because I'm looking into cleaning. That's a checklist. What else we got to do?
So check-ins, having a lockbox. So you guys had a code on the door.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't work everywhere, remind you, but it is an automated system because I don't have to then go meet the guests. Because I do have some units where my assistant has to go actually meet them to check in.
Yeah, we had a situation with a lockbox in LA.
No, he almost got killed. Troy almost got killed.
Well, thanks, Charlie.
No, he almost got killed.
Yeah, now we went to LA and we did an Airbnb and we got in late, like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, like
and the lockbox was in the middle of an alley.
It was in the alley
in LA. And we're sitting there. Shotty's trying to get the lockbox open. He can't get it open. So we're pulled into an alley. Lights on. We see people down the alley, and I'm like, damn. All right, we left the alley, came back. I'm like, maybe that's not the right one. We came back, circled back to the same alley. He's back at the box. Now I see 2 people at the end of the alley. I'm like, yo, Shotty, somebody coming this way, bro.
Okay.
And he's like, yo, just keep an eye on him. I'm like, all right. His back's turned. They walking to me, and they walk up to me, and this dude flashes a gun, and I'm like.
In the
alley. This dude's back is turned. He's trying to unlock the box.
He pulled the burnout on him.
That's a fact.
He asked him what set he was banging. And he's like, we're not gang banging. We're just doing a financial literacy podcast.
Yo, it was the craziest moment because like his back was turned. He like, yo, what set you claiming? I'm like, yo, bro, we just here on some like, I don't know what you doing. So then he said, all right, and walked off. And like 10 seconds later, Shotty like, yo, what do you want? I'm like, yo, bro, where was you?
So my question is, where was the actual apartment?
It was across the street.
Exactly.
It was across
so
the street.
That wasn't a unit where you can do self-checking. That was a lazy landlord.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
A lazy host.
Never do. That was dangerous. That was bad. Yeah.
See, they probably had a unit to where you couldn't put a lockbox on the door. So they're like, oh, y'all coming in at 2:00 in the morning? There's no way I can check y'all in.
Yeah, and
no way I would.
No, it was crazy. It was a crazy moment. But LA was good to us after.
Luckily, we made it out.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so having self-checking units or just checking concierge period is another automated system. What's another automated system? Inventory. I've learned to automate inventory because you have to be sure. So the way that I have mine set up is I'll have a box for my housekeepers and I'll have a box for my large storage for my clients as well. So I might keep 50 rolls of tissue and 20 rolls of paper towels in the large box in the storage, but in the unit I might only keep 5 paper towels and 10 tissues. Okay. So now when my housekeepers are coming, just say I have somebody come stay Monday and Tuesday, they check out Tuesday. Then I have somebody come in Wednesday, they check out Friday. Now my housekeepers are not worried about going back to the large storage to get inventory. It's already in the unit.
Yeah.
So it kind of, if I was to write it down, and show you, you'll see what I'm saying. Yeah. But basically I'm saying I don't have to worry about them after every checkout figuring out where's tissue, where's paper towels, where's coffee. It's already here.
The supplies already here. So we're talking about tissue, paper towel, coffee if you've done it right.
Creamer, water bottles.
Yeah, you know what?
Washcloths, rags.
Yeah, some of the ones we stayed in didn't leave us any of that. But we ain't gonna throw anybody under the bus.
Nah, it's dope, man. And like you said, I mean, it's keeping it all in house. And it only makes sense because it all relates to the business.
Right.
It's not like, it's like if you gotta get your tires repaired. Now, if they can fix your window too, it's like, it's easier as opposed to like, all right, you got to go for the one mechanic for one thing, another mechanic for another thing. Else. You can do everything in house.
Yep.
Yeah. What about lawn care? Is that something that is in your systems?
For my 2 houses, yeah, but that's not often because there's really no grass. It ain't that kind of house.
Okay.
Yeah. It's on a college campus, on Georgia Tech's campus, and those kids, they don't care.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you are a college student and you had Airbnbs on college.
On a college campus.